Are you perhaps struggling with getting one girl? How about 6 or 7 of them all at once? Welcome to the top 10 best harem anime of all time. You know me, I'm Misty, the library, Cronexia, and while harem may not be my favorite, they have a lot of charm for some people. Especially for teens who feel like they can relate being chick magnets. That wasn't my case, I was a cringy teen, but you guys are chads, so here are the best anime to reflect that. As usual, every entry is a dual entry, one popular objective slot, and a similar lesser known counterpart for those who feel like they've seen everything. But I'll even toss you an extra bone. For each anime we will talk about, I will show you one of these 3 icons. Misty Yes means the protagonist does pick a girl at the end. Not telling you which, just that he does. Misty No means that, well, he doesn't. We call that harem limbo. I hate this, but some people live by the harem limbo, so nobody is left out at the end. And finally, Narc confused for the weird scenario where it's complicated. So if you got all that, let's get started! Number 10, The World God Only Knows. I think God, that's a weird acronym, is definitely one of the cornerstone of the genre. A story about a gamer who plays a dating simulator exclusively, but he's really good at them. And there's not one girl he cannot conquer because of it. One day he meets a demon whom he must team up with and upgrade his game from 2D girls to real girls. I'm giving it the Narc confused tag because there is a confession in a manga and it kinda goes somewhere, although it's complicated. So what's a similarly popular anime, slightly lesser known, that is all about one guy making every girl swoon over him? To Love Ru also gets the confused tag because polygamy is just one step above not picking one. Truth be told, they're both anime that kind of popularized the whole trend of harem, so let's get them out of the way early on. Scoot scoot. Number 9, Zero no Tsukaima. Let's toss some fantasy elements in our harem. Zero no Tsukaima, for all the bad things people say about it, I believe it does several things right. Story's dope, and the character development is good. It takes a particular skill set to be able to take an annoying character and turn it around into someone likable. It takes a few seasons, but eventually she gets there, and there's actually a pick a girl ending. Though it's an obvious one as the story goes, made me feel good. If you've seen it though, I recommend Shuffle as a counterpart, a more traditional harem where every girl has equal chance throughout the story, but the main guy actually picks one at the end and shares similar fantasy element, which really connected the dots for me.
Asa-senpai?
Number 8, The Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat. A very solid choice if you like a hearty chuckle of word of comedy with your harem. The Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat is a story with a bit of supernatural twist where the main character prays for a personality change at a stone cat statue. Meanwhile, another girl wishes for a similar personality change there. So they both get what they want, but soon come to realize that they may not have been the best call. If you've seen it, mayhaps you'd like to try Nukome instead. An anime about a guy who has a made-up mental illness where he hears the voice of God, and said God offers him an ultimatum. Either terrible option A, or horrible option B. And if he doesn't pick one, he's struck with an intense headache until he picks either. Great comedy in both cases, with some light supernatural elements and some very cute girls. Also, in both cases, someone is picked at the end. What can you ask more? Number 7, Rent-A-Girlfriend. Rent-A-Girlfriend is the current hot take of the season. It'll be long done by the time you watch this video, but both the manga and the anime are still airing as I'm writing the script. Story is about a guy who, after getting dumped, goes on an escort app and hires himself a girlfriend, like we all do. Never heard of Tinder? The girl is super professional, but the dude is kind of a tool. Of course, that's episode 1 and the character development really makes up for it. There's enough girl to go around to make this a harem, but since both are still ongoing, there's no clue whether it'll end up with him and a girl or if it's gonna remain an incel. But it's worth the watch regardless. Hensuki is my counterpick for this one. It's about a guy who is part of a club and every girl has a crush on him. One is a simp, one is a dominatrix, they're all sexual deviants. I got demonetized because of that thumbnail, so you can bet your sexy butt it's worth watching. But just like Rent a Grill, there's no clear answer on how it plays out. Grills are cute and kinky. That's all you need to know, yo.
そう今日からは
Number 6, Nisekoi. Some people are rather upset about this anime, so of course I'm gonna put it in. Truth is, everyone that is actually bothered by it is because their best girl didn't win in the end. I chose best girl, so I like this anime. Hopefully you'll make the right call, because there's a definitive answer. Beyond that, deal breaker, show is actually really nice with a fun cast all around and a comedy to go along with it. Whether it be that SWAT meme or anything else, the show is just a good all-rounder for everyone. So what's an equitable recommendation if you've seen this? I'm gonna go for True Tears. A bit heavier on the drama side, but just like Nisekoi, it's kind of a love triangle, except with 3 girls instead of 2. So I guess a love square. Soundtrack is great, the opening theme is my jam, but beyond that, the 3 girls are all actually pretty nice to root for. There's also a definite answer in this one too. So how do you like your odds?
ただいま
Number 5, Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches. No joke, one of my all-time favorite anime. Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches is a story about a supernatural school in which Yamada, a student that attends to it, in the school, there's 7 witches, as the title implies, and each one of them has a special power, ranging from mind reading to body swapping, future sight, name it, and Yamada is the only one that can trigger their ability. The show is just blissful between the side-splitting comedy and the fact that Yamada picked the best girl at the end. It's nothing but praises for me, but if you've seen it, perhaps you'd like Haganai. There's no real pick at the end of this one, but the comedy is equally funny, with the occasional sexual reference and the fun synergy between the cast really sell it out. Though this one kind of revolves back at being a harem limbo deal.
なんで意地悪するのよこの私が入部してあげるって言ってるのに
Number 4, the quintessential quintuplet. What is this anime except a mouthful? It's a show that started airing last year and is about to get a season 2 early in 2021. Thankfully, I've read the manga, and he does pick one girl at the end. To be fair, that's the entire premise of the show, so that'd be a really blue ball shot if he wasn't. A guy is forced to tutor 5 identical twins and eventually falls in love with one of them, whom he marries. Your job is to find which one of them it is. I don't really mind who won at the end, but I feel like it was poorly foreshadowed, and it could have benefited from more development. But a feel-good bite-sized one you can enjoy either in anime once it'll be out or just get the answer right now in the manga. Counter-wise, there is We Never Learn, which is a similar gimmick of a guy tutoring several girls at once. Both the manga and the anime are still ongoing as I'm making this video, so I can't tell you if there's a single one he will pick at the end, though I've heard rumored that the author was planning a final chapter for each girl winning so you can pick your own ending, which if he does go that route, I think that's a great idea. They did the same thing with Clannad where every girl had their own OVA win. It's a nice way to get closure for your favorite girl.
幸せにしてみせるから俺を信じて付き合ってくれこの絵スバル
Number 3, Mayo Chiki. Let's talk butler harem. As a vassal, you may end up having a few servants under your belt. What if they also wanted what's under your belt? I dare anyone to tell me that's not witty writing. Actually, I take that back. In retrospect, I wrote that before the coffee kicked in. It's not as clever as I thought it was. Anyway, Mayochiki starts off as a weird, comical, romantic harem where the main character confused the butler of a girl for a guy when he's in fact a girl. Happens to everyone. But again, you've probably seen this one, so let me chime in with another butler anime with harem-like features. This time around, the butler is actually a guy for real, Hayate, the combat butler. A story about a dude who gets hired to protect the daughter of a wealthy family estate, and they really bond together. In both cases, it takes a while, but you get a satisfying, definitive answer at the end.
例もある。だからこいつをこの3000位ナギの新しい執事にする。
Number 2, Sainai Heroin no Sodatekata. What about a story of a guy who's passionate about his craft? Since he's been very young, Tomoya has been collecting figurine and various merch from the light novels he thoroughly enjoys. Now, wanting to give back to the community, he decides to make his very own light novel, but turns out he can't do the task by himself. So with the help of some fellow girl classmates, he creates a party that will take on this colossal job. Of course, you got the romantic drama triangle in the mix too, but if you've seen Saikano, or you think it's too heavy on the drama side and you like a more light-hearted take on making a manga, Mangaka-san to Assistant-san is just the cocktail you want. Great jokes about a guy writing an ecchi manga with a slew of girls who reenact the scenes in person for their sensei. It's wacky. Though Saikano does pick a girl at the end and Mangaka-san doesn't, if that weighs in your final decision or not.
アホかあんたは。
And finally, the number 1 pick, Fruits of Grisaya, the penultimate harem anime. A story that not only gives you girls all swooning over the main character for the only reason being that he's the only person with a stick in his pants on a 5-mile radius. Every single girl is absolutely charming, fleshed out to the point you kinda get attached to everyone. There's enough drama in tangible situation like a girl touching herself on your bed. That happened to you? Ever? No? Just me. Point is, in terms of drama, it's really solid. And then... no, God, please don't make me talk about this one. Tied to the number 1 spot? Really? No, I don't want to say it. Oh, okay, please don't hurt me. I'll say it. Domestic girlfriend? You want fucking drama? Here you go, by the truckload. I want to go on record and say I fucking hate this anime to my bones. Guy meet girl, sleep with girl. While he's in love with his teacher, turns out his dad got remarried to a girl, and that girl's daughters are both of the chicks he's entangled with. The anime should be called Murphy's Law, cause when you think it can't get any more tragic, it fucking does. And yes, he does pick one at the end, kind of, but not really. It's complicated. Do yourself a favor and punch yourself in the face. It's much more fun than watching this anime. Or honestly, just pick anyone you've already seen and just rewatch it. Like True Tears, for example. Shut up, you haven't seen that one. I don't believe you.
危ないっすよ。
ごめん。
So that makes about 20 additional anime you could watch. Out of all of these, my personal recommendation would be Yamada-kun, Mayochiki, and Mangaka-san if you want something light and comical, or Grisaya, Saikano, and True Tears if you want a more flavorful drama twist on your harem. Whatever you do, stay away from Domestic Girlfriend. It's an incredible drama love triangle, so it does its job well, but I still hate it, whatever it stands for. Proof that my personal taste doesn't always reflect what ends up as number 1. You'll make the right call, and if not, I'll be here saying I told you so. But if you found this video helpful, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, so we could rise up against piano again. Alright, later biters. Oh no, I don't like that one. Later birds of a feather. Yeah, that's a sick combo.
Hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.